Markets are really picking up here, and this week was massive. We got some great news that came out here from the Fed itself, and we're going to dive straight into what's actually happening here in the Fed. We can see through inflation numbers, inflation is now decreasing and was under the initial expectation, which in terms is bullish for risk assets as the Fed is looking to cut rates or hold. Now, on Polymarket, we could see the Fed hiking rates is gone down here. Odds of the Fed hiking rates on the July 29th meeting, so that is the end of this month, crashed to around 8% after CPI inflation, biggest monthly decline since April 2020. This is great to see and awesome for crypto as we're deep in a bear. We absolutely have been swimming in the bear market. And yeah, we can see here through Bitcoin, it did pump straight on this news as Bitcoin is the liquidity smoke alarm and reacts rapidly to changes in policy. And we can see here it's reacted beautifully, and that is great to see. The Fed is looking like, Kevin Walsh is very bullish on crypto in general, and we can even see here through what he's outlining here. So an 8% chance of a rate hike is exactly what you want to see for assets like crypto, Bitcoin, ETH. We can see here when we're pulling up Ethereum chart here, it also has reacted on this news. And look how far in the bear we are here in crypto. Like, it is absolutely in the peak bear. It's testing those 2025 lows. We did make a video on it the other day. And yeah, this is great to see here. The Fed is starting to maneuver and make plays, and we're going to be positioned exactly here. And overall, it is underlying our thesis of Q4 as the initial start of the next bull cycle here in crypto, as we've been in a bear for so long and it's continuing on here. And we're getting our action plans in place here. And you can too. We're outlining exactly through our weekly reports here, which you can get completely free by just clicking the link down below and booking a call. Send me the week's read. We just click that there and we can send you exactly what assets we're looking at through here on the weekly read and the analysis around it, backing up this CPI inflation, which is quite big, and it's really underlying the thesis. We could be getting a nice Q4 pump and to start the next cycle of the bull here. Now, also with the Fed, they're looking to pump more liquidity into the economy in just a couple of weeks. And this is exactly, we haven't had Fed inject liquidity into the markets for a while now. They've been, the previous Fed, Jerome Powell, held rates, and now we can see here, Kevin Walsh still hasn't been a Fed chair that's cut rates in his new term. But liquidity slowly trickling in is exactly the thesis we need for risk assets and crypto as a large to start that next cycle, and it's going to be awesome. We can also see here some more use case through Solana, which is another asset we're definitely looking at, and we outline it in this weekly read here, so you can have a look through and see what alts we're actually watching into the next cycle by just clicking the link down below. So we can see here on Solana, this is quite big and it's really not spoke about enough at the moment. So SBI Global Asset Management have launched JX on Solana for the first time. A Japanese asset manager equity strategy is live on chain. And this is just eventually everything's going to be on chain. And Solana are taking a massive step here in bringing more tokenized assets, liquidity on chain. And this is just going to grow the total market cap of crypto in general. And it's a perfect timing. The Fed's stepping in here, looking at either holding rates, lowering rates, liquidity coming on chain. And we can see here through more tokenization initiatives through Solana, like traditional finance companies like SBI know where this industry is heading, and we all do. Especially if you're watching this channel, you definitely know where crypto is heading. And yeah, bull case here on Solana. We're going to check what Solana is actually doing here. Been in a deep bear, but a nice breakout here from this line, which we've analyzed on X throughout the week. And it's definitely one we're watching. We're going to be definitely in a position here on Solana for the next bull. And we're going to be positioned because Solana is so undervalued. And yeah, it's deep in a bear. This is going to be a really good altcoin to hang on to heading into the bull cycle. And also Ethereum here. Yeah, Ethereum as well. we have Tom Lee coming up out of nowhere. He's so in debt, it's incredible. I think he holds the record for being one of the most indebted companies in history here. So Tom Lee coming up, upside breakdown happened on ETH, BTC. And we can see here, yeah, ETH starting to break out also here. So ETH could be another good position heading into the bull in Q4. And it's still testing those 2025 lows. Bounce off it if anything. And that's a great sign. So definitely like to see that. XRP holders, XRP's kind of been cooked for so long here, but this is deep bear market territory. So there's going to be a fair few altcoins heading into the bull here. That's going to be awesome to see. And we're really watching what BTC starts to do here. Around these levels, 200 week is always like a likely bottom. Now we can see here, could this just be a dead bounce? We're going to wait and see, but definitely highlighting what's going to happen here on Sunday's episode. So we can see here, BTC, ETH, Sol, we've covered all that. Now another bullish term here, so 114 trillion custodian DTCC to begin soft launch of its tokenized service for select stocks, ETF, treasuries, ahead of the rollout in October, Q4. It couldn't play out any better. Lots of things are happening towards the back end of this year, and it aligns perfectly where the cycles are going here. And yeah, more tokenized assets heading on chain, increasing liquidity heading onto crypto, and that is exactly what we want for the next cycle. And this could be, we need to hang on to a narrative here, and that's usually what we need, a narrative heading into the next bull. And something like that, tokenized assets, more liquidity hanging on chain, is definitely a strong narrative, and something that could be pushed really to bring liquidity back on chain and start the next bull. It's exactly what we want to see. So we've covered all that. Ethereum here looking really nice, and if we can hold these levels on Ethereum, this could be quite insane. So our underlying, what we're doing right now, BTC, we're dollar cost averaging in at the moment till we find a likely bottom. No one can guess the bottom, no one can, but starting to buy back in around the levels of a likely bottom is exactly the strategy everyone should be using, rather than just picking the bottom, having a wing and a feeling, rather than looking at the data, what's actually happening in Fed policy, what interest rates are doing, and seeing where we are in cycles is exactly the method to start rotating back in on a next cycle. And it's really nice to see here. So BTC, definitely watching whether we can bottom here or not. But I think we've covered everything, so we'll see you in the next one.